Hello, my dear ones. How are we today? Doing well, I hope. And if you're not, get yourself healthy and do well. Please find the iris photos of one of my clients. It is the marking in the left eye that I need help interpreting. I think it is quite unusual. BTW, these eyes belong to a dentist, so I am thinking markings might have something to do with mercury toxicity. Yeah, okay. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm thinking she's talking about, somebody taking my pens. Good thing I've got a large selection. All right. You see this up in here? It's unusual in the sense that it doesn't look like lymphatic. This is more lymphatic right here. Right? This brown here is more chronic lymphatic. This is more chemical. I doubt seriously if it's mercury. They claim mercury is more silver. But this is a chemical up in the head. Up in the head. Looks like to me, I mean, when you really look at it, I mean, it could be very chronic lymph or a chemical. See this? You can almost see how it breaks here. The difference. Now, it does match the degree of the pituitary weakness and the pineal weakness here. But, I mean, it's hard to say. You know, it looks chemical to me, all right? And the way, just the way it's set up there like that, when you look at the rest of the body, doubt if it's mercury, but it's some chemical. You know, chemicals have an affiliation for different parts of the body. And, this one loves the brain, and it's right in the frontal lobe of the left side here, big time, and could have some all the way back down to the cerebellum and into the ear area, or it could be a very chronic buildup of lymph. But it's unusual looking if it is. And if either way, let's put it this way, either way, Amy, you've got to get it out. This dentist has a lot of lymphatic problems. Got good genes. And he's got a ton of lymphatic, or she has a ton of lymphatic problems. Oh yes, there's so many pretty things, and breast cancer pics on. Yes, I wanted to show you this because I'm not supposed to mention any names, but I got to show you this one. Now this got my heart. This is so cute. Look at this. A little Dr. Morse. Is that cute? We have the best raw food kids on the planet. This lady, not mention any names, but sweetheart, you did well. You did very well on yourself. Real proud of you, and just really well. I'll show you the current pictures, and this is of her chest area, her a little bit of her sternum and breast area where she had some cancer. Let me show you the before, the afters. You can see this is her breast area. That looks normal, right? Same here, pretty normal. But let's take a look what it looked like before. Take a look at this. A long way from where she is now. Look how it's chewing up the skin. Acids chewing up her skin. Necrotic tissue. All right. And now we have that. Beautiful? So, incredible job, my dear one. And she just shows everyone what you can accomplish when you get your head on and you go for it. And that's the point. You get your head on and you go for it. It just, get all this together here. Sorry about that. In my new office here, I'm not sure where all my stuff is, tell you the honest truth. I love this picture. We were all looking at that. When I was moving, all your pictures you've given me and everything came up, and it was pretty cute. Oh yeah, I met this guy here. A friend of mine's a naturopath, and his mama had gangrene, and what a beautiful job he did on it too. Saved it. I thank you for all the cards, the beautiful cards. There's just so many beautiful cards, and it's all stringed together. Just beautiful, beautiful pictures. Just beautiful. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. I guess you've seen the Ian videos and the other videos, so I won't go over this again, but 1898. That's pretty good. This has to be UK, right? Wilkes-Barre, or could be Louisiana. But this is an interesting article that talks about fruit as the cure-all of everything. And basically what this article is saying is that when you're sick, put yourself on fruit, and it is known to cure everything under man. So it says, if therefore a fruit diet has indeed nothing else to recommend, it is curative powers would be great enough to insist upon its value. Intellectual dig, but I'm telling you, I love it. It just helps to prove what we're all doing and showing you. The sad thing is the quality and the difficulty in getting them into northern climates. You know, because we had Canadians in here all week this week, and they've been talking about how difficult good fruits are, and I get it. And Alaska's the same way, you know, and it's like, dang, but I don't know what else to say. We have to move in that direction. So whatever we do now, remember, we're laying the foundation for our babies and our children. We're laying the foundation for this young man right here. So that when they grow up, and this one, when they grow up, they don't grow up in a corrupt world, a world of judging others, in a world where everybody's down on others. No. We want a world where we walk with beauty and humility and love for one another. It's a big difference in how everyone's happiness is. So let me go over this Q&A video, of course, because I haven't been able to get to this for a while for you. And I apologize greatly. My office is still a mess. I just got to. There's a lot of neat things that come into us. The children and others paint. And I want to say this. Oh yeah, just all types of creative cards and creative envelopes that stuff comes in. Beautiful stuff. But the artistry that I'm seeing out there is just incredible. It's just incredible. And I am so excited to one day have our seminars and have an art room where all you guys bring your beautiful art, and we can walk around in a buzz looking at the light coming from your art. Remember, make your art bring the light out. You know, always want to bring the light out in your art. So when you paint, you move into that intuitive mode, and the energy will come through. It's like any artist at any level, whether you're a pianist, a flautist, or we had a lot of musicians and artists in Eckankar, and incredible, to say the least. The music, the paintings, etheric, painting spiritual cities that, unless you're an out-of-body traveler or unless you have a good memory at night, you don't remember them. Neat things that are out there in other lands and other levels that you have bodies on, that you can see some beautiful stuff. So let's look at this. I submitted a question last April but have not yet received a response. I am hoping someone can address this for me since I'm, holy crap. Last April? So, let me say this, and I've said this before, because of the busyness of everything. If this rings your bippy, dive in. Don't stop, don't wait to answer, because I tried to do the last video I did, tried to show you that no matter how you look at your conditions, and no matter what they say, you know, I hear this, I had an individual in here with a specialized MD, muscular dystrophy. You know, it does not matter what the diagnosis is. And it doesn't matter how rare yours is over someone else's, or how genetic everything is. Those things don't matter. As a matter of fact, they're starting to play with the genetic verbiage that could get them in trouble, because they're speaking of things they do not know. And it's just common for that field to do that. And it's like, oh, excuse me, guys, come on. Pull back, stop thinking, right? And look at what we have. Look at the basics first. If you want to dig into the nano levels, by all means, go ahead. But if you don't understand the basics, how in the heck are you going to dig into the nano levels and understand anything that's going on there if you can't understand simple atomic structures and how that's working? And your subatomic particles. If you don't understand how all that's moving in the physical body, the education in the medical world is somewhat interesting, to tell you the truth. And I don't know what to say about it. So, but if you have a problem, take a look at this. You're either way too acidic, and you might, on a very outside chance, be very alkaline. So how do you pull yourself into balance? Diet. Your diet is key to pulling your body in a state of balance. Now, do you think your body needs the same state of balance that a raccoon does? What about an elephant? Right. We are an individual species. It's just our species just happens to match another species 97%. And that species is a frugivore species. Like it or not. And so that's where we have to look. We have to start looking where things are not aberrated, where things are not conditioned, where man hasn't lied for the sake of money and things like this, because we have so much in our intellectual realm, our academic realm, that is not even true, that is crap and garbage. And people go to school and learn this crap all the time. It's not fair. Not fair to man. So there's a lot of opinions and a lot of theories, and we're here to set the story straight, aren't we? Absolutely are. At least as much as we can, right? And it's sure a lot better than what's out there now, so let them take from what we set and go up with that. But when you're in trouble, I don't care what it is, you first jump on the diet. You first pull yourself into a state of balance by eating good, organic if you can get them, your grapes, your fruits. They are balancing your berries. They are balancing for the human. They're not balancing for a bear, although a bear will eat fruit, but a bear doesn't eat exclusively fruit. And we are the level of species that we should almost do that. But because of the aberrations and the conditioning and the nightmarish diets that man has been trying to consume, he's in trouble. Look at man. Man meaning man and woman. big time trouble. And so many of you young people, every day it's thrown in my face, the suffering of the youth, and no one's there to help them except us. And it's like, well, we're going to help them. So you want to jump on the diet always. Now, if you're confused, there's plenty of videos. I did a video on the herbs, how to take the herbs for what conditions if you want. But get on some herbs. We already have a 14-week protocol already set up. If you're confused, just follow that. Just get on the first kit. If you can afford that, try to get the first kit down where you get some idea of the rhythm, or at least do something for your kidneys and adrenals and the lymphatic system and your gut. Some Fab 4 or 5, where you're going after the major components of your body. Because after all, this is your vehicle while you're on this lovely stay on planet Earth. But you don't wait to get answered on this, because we're so busy. You see, it's difficult for me to sit here and go all through these. And this is just this is our new stack. I haven't finished the old stack yet. So forgive me, but I'm doing my best here. I've been developing odd marks on my face lately, and it is very distressing. The left side of my face had developed such marks years ago, white, while my right side had, until recently, remained clear. Well, that right there shows you the bilateral separateness of the human body. And we've talked about this before, that the body has two sides to it. Your right kidney, your right adrenal, that's all the right side. That's why we check blood pressures on both sides. Strange when you ask a nurse to do that. It's like, what? Because they don't really know what a blood pressure is for. But when you start getting marks, it doesn't matter what chemistry in your body, whether it's the melanin, it does not matter what chemical factors are affected. You have two sides of chemistry in the body that affects that. Okay? So acids affect the body in a different way than bases affect the body. That's obvious, because acids have a whole different nature to them than bases. And when you realize that most vertebrates, including bears and dogs and hogs and chickens, most vertebrates have to have an alkaline ash diet. When you start eating acid ash diets, that changes the whole mechanism of the physical body, from going from building and strengthening to defense. And that defensive mode in your body is called inflammation. And it's simply what acids or proteins do to the human body. You have some blowback with carbons, no question. When you get into complex chemistry, like your polysaccharides, your proteins, as opposed to simple amino acids, all these things are irritants to the mucosa of the human body. They are too complex, too difficult to break down in a lot of cases. And so we have a lot of protein residues and things like this, and excessive carbons and sugars, true, but only from polys. Only from complex structures, not from simple amino acid structures, and not from simple sugar structures like fructose and glucose and galactose. I do not know the cause as far as my left cheek, so for the right side of my face last summer I began using olive oil and at times other oils such as coconut oil as a moisturizer on my face. I don't know if it was a coincidence or if these oils caused my face to develop these marks, but the timing coincided. At this time, I also stopped using cleansers and washed my face with water only as well. Well, here's the thing. Excuse me. You ladies have used a lot of chemicals in the past. And these chemicals can absorb into the subcutaneous tissues under the epidermis here. And so this stuff can stay around. And then your lymph system, of course, being dealing with the acids, when they can't deal with acids, then your acids then start in the pool of lymph stagnation, can interact with other chemistry, no question. And then you can see all kinds of things in the body. I was not wearing any makeup or other ingredients. But you have to look at what you've done in the past and what's going on in you presently, not with what you're doing now, because what you're doing now is healing. But what did you do in the past? sometimes natural things expose things. We talked a lot about this in terms of healing crisis, exposing your faults of the past, shall we say, including your accidents and things, your traumas. I have wondered if this could be caused by some sort of germ. I doubt very seriously that that's the case, ever. I am also wondering if this is a hormonal issue because I was told my thyroid was low in 2012 at a time when I had gained a great deal of weight. I've never seen a thyroid create skin markings. I wake up daily with phlegm. That's what I was saying. You wake up daily with phlegm. That's all mucus, that's all lymph, and that's all acidosis. I mean, you might have your high alkalis create mucus in the body, but by far, most of your mucus-forming foods that people are eating are your cooked dairies, your meats, your grains, your beans, things like that. Most of these foods are all mucus-forming at one level or another. Dairy, by far, including yogurts and cheeses, by far, are the most mucus-forming foods on the planet, by far. She wakes up every morning with phlegm in my throat, so I know I have a great deal of mucus in my head that I must dissolve. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter the factors, whether they're diagnosed with lupus, Lyme's, rheumatoid arthritis. These diagnoses does not matter. That is the corn in the bucket. That is the illusion over here. It doesn't matter what I call this. What is it? I could call it anything. Chicken scratches, but what is it? What is it actuality? And our actuality is science, chemistry, and physics at this point, at this world. So what is it? See, we have a tendency to think things fly in from Moose Jaw, Alaska into our body, and therefore it must be something strange and weird that came into us. It's hard for us to understand because allopathy has blamed everything but the individual. Is that your diet, your consumption of chemistry, whether it's on the skin and makeups and cleansers and things like this, or whether it is internal consumed. What you consume and what you, remember I said, what you eat, what you drink, what you put on your skin, and what you breathe is how you bring the outside world of chemistry in. And if it ain't harmonious chemistry, it's foreign chemistry, and foreign chemistry can be a steak. Oh, this is natural, it's all flesh and tissue, but it's not harmonious and natural to the Homo sapien species. We're not a meat-eating species. So all meat has an acid, of course, naturally has an acid blowback, but also has an energetic blowback on the human being. Some of you have been on fruit a while. Eat a piece of meat and see how it makes you feel. Yeah. Is this an issue of acidosis? By far. I am worried this could get worse and need to know how to prevent this ASAP. Well, detox. Get your lymph. By April, by now, you should have been completely detoxed. So you really want to get in and get your lymph moving, and get, especially when it's happening to your head. If I could suggest anything, when things start happening to your throat and head in terms of swellings and things like this, don't wait. Oh, I'm going to the store right now, and I'm going to buy me a bushel basket of grapes and a whole load of lemons. And I'm going, baby, because this is something you don't want the allopath to play with, is your head area. That's not going to be a pretty picture, and you're not going to be happy at all. So you do not want anything going on from the shoulders up. And that's the problem now. That's where man has worked himself, and it's horrible. Please help me. I have attached a photo which is not me, just a pic I found on Google. But my markings look just like this. Yeah, it looks like to me, your skin needs to be refurbished. It looks like me, you have subcutaneous lymph stagnation. Well, it looks to me. Take a look at this, guys. I mean, what is that showing you? Look at the nature of that skin. Look at that. Even if you see some markings still. This isn't good skin here at all. You need to rebuild your skin. And that's what I'm saying. You could have genetics here, whatever, but you want to get into the lymph system, get your kidneys filtering, get the bowels open, get everything moving, get your thyroid up, get your basals up. Said you had a little hypo. Get your basals up to at least 98 and get yourself a sweating. Open up. Hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. Start scrubbing your skin, hot and cold, hot and cold. I began using olive oil and at times other oil. Let me see where we are. All right. Hormonal, I'm going to say no. You can blame hormonals on acidosis only when, let's say, you get estrogenic. But being estrogen dominant still wouldn't be like having lymph stagnation. The acids are not near as hot. I do require a moisturizer due to cold weather. All right, let's take a look at this. Let me see. At this point, I am weary of putting anything on my face, though. I do require a moisturizer due to cold weather. Okay, so let's look at cold weather. Cold weather is very alkalizing, right? All right, so when you start alkalizing, what happens? Things start breaking up and start being more fluid. Believe it or not, even though cold freezes, but you can look at the opposite end of heat as well. But when you're looking at the nature of alkalis, it tends to be on the colder side, where bases tend to be on the heat side, the hot side. And believe it or not, when things get a little cooler in the body, in chemistry, things get a little more anionic. When things get cationic, acidic, it can have a corrosiveness to it, but in the long run, it's a dehydrating agglomeration effect. So the point is you're very acidic. Very acidic. When you need moisturizers for your skin, you're very acidic, and I would rethink about moisturizers. Start getting into some of these salves, or let's just say some good oils. Hemp oil, grapeseed is one of your better oils, but not a lot. This is the lymph system dehydrating you. And you've got to get that out if you want your skin to look beautiful. You've got to get your everybody cleaned up here. And matter of fact, if you guys want to tack a picture on with this, your picture of your eyes, I'll let them know that I let them through, and I'll just give a quick look at that. But I can't go over them in depth, but I'll give a quick look at that in relationship to your problem. Until I know what's causing this, I am at my wit's end, not knowing how to treat my skin. All right. So let's say this lady has been waiting since last April to get this answer. I mean, there is nothing on this planet that you can't have that detoxification isn't the key to help you. Because it's ingested chemistry. And ingested chemistry in an acidic medium doesn't always come back out, or are converted or anything like that. And the residues of the utilization of chemistry is essential to come out. So detoxification is always the answer when you have a problem, because you're pulling yourself back into the proper diet that is made by God for man. And we're giving you more and more studies. You guys are digging in and finding neat stuff out there to prove our point. But the number one thing that proves our point is you guys. Look at what you're curing. And I use curing because the allopaths can't use the word cure. They ever do come after us for curing, I'm going to sue the holy heck out of them. Give me the great opportunity to go after them. Because there is no allopath on this planet that cures anything unless he uses the proper way of backing up how you caused it. There are allopaths that are using this. There's a good medical doctor in Canada that cleaned up a lymphedema case, and he couldn't believe it. He says, we don't cure lymphedema. You do when you understand the cause of it, like this guy, this medical doctor decided he wasn't going to hold negative feelings against the other side, because the other side could have stuff we could learn from. And so he listened, and he was able to start curing his patients. Big difference. It's easy to suppress things. Pharmaceuticals are great at suppression. That's when you get to our field, we don't suppress, we expectorate. So they're night and day. You know, the steroids and all the things they use, antibiotics, suppress your lymph system, suppress your body. When we come along, we're going to take that suppression away, and we're going to open you up and get everything going out. And we're not really doing it. We're just giving you the chemistry and the energy to do it. Your body is doing it. Your body wants to be well. This is in its consciousness. Can this be healed? The left cheek I have had for years has not given any signs of healing or going away. How deep are you? What is this condition called? Can I prevent it from getting worse? What is causing this? I know you keep saying that, honey, but all I'm going to tell you is that you have to understand the two sides of chemistry and get your body cleaned up and out. There's nothing you can take. I think the illusion here that the allopathic community created in our society, and even, I'll say this, even our side has said a few things like, take this, it'll cure that. Take the B vitamins, or take the glutamines, or take this or that, and your troubles will be solved. So people come in here with bags of supplements, and they're still coming in with their problems. We have problems on both sides. We have problems allopathically because they kill people. They don't understand anything about health. Then you have the naturopaths, who I'm scratching my head that they're starting to act like they don't either. Putting people that are extremely acidic on high protein diets or meat eating. When you're a naturopath, you never recommend meat eating if you want to be a true naturopath. If you want to be a whipping boy or girl for the allopaths, then go ahead and recommend it. But if you want to be an individual naturopath that understands the trueness of health and wellness, you would never recommend protein. That's ridiculous. Go back 50 years and see where our consciousness was. And you had medical doctors, naturopaths, you had a huge barrage of people. From Tilden to Sheldon you had major people around the world exposing the truth about health, the truth about proteins. Tilden exposed a lot about, he was a medical doctor, a lot about the fallacy of protein. Man forgets when there's propaganda constantly at him. But to effect a cure from anything is to change your ingested chemistry. Realize that you have had, since you were in your mother, subjected to chemistry from this planet, and now you have to get your body cleaned up and straightened up and rebuilt. And especially the young people have to realize, unfortunately, you came in a very a negative planet at this time, a warring planet that is developing its spirituality. So you have both sides going on here right now. And in time, spirituality will win. But it's just the nature of duality and the turning of the ship from the negative poles. But according to most religions, we're at the beginning of, we're at the positive side of the negative cycle. According to most religions, everything is going to get so much worse. I kind of disagree with that. I think there's some changes going on in the air. Do we sniff changes going on in the air? Can I prevent it from getting worse? Absolutely. Get yourself on the proper foods. What is causing it? Forgive my many questions, but I can tell you're just stressed over it. And this is Tera. Thank you for all you do and for insight you can offer. I am forever grateful. Honey, just dig in. What's this supplement you got here? Premium grapeseed oil. Yeah, good stuff. But you can't expect it to heal everything, because it can only help neutralize some of this acid, because this is the lymph system, and some of the effects on the tissues and stuff. So get in and get your body detoxed. What that means is you'll get your kidneys filtering, You'll hydrate the lymphatic system better. You'll hydrate interstitial spaces better. Everything will start going back to normal. Everything, and if you've never been normal, then it will go back to the genetic blueprint, which is held at the causal world. And you're pulling yourself energetically to that level, and you will see the redoing. Someday, in my own office here, I have x-rays, and I have an x-ray thing here. So sometime I'll get the camera and I'll show you Roger's a tremendous skeletal regeneration. Tremendous. He's on YouTube. Fox News showed the pictures, so you should be able to see the pictures on that video. But I've got him over here. Some neat regeneration. Unreal regeneration. But yeah, I think your skin needs regenerated all over, my dear one. I don't like the look of your skin, period. So I think you really need to get in and get your thyroid up, and you can use simple herbs for that, or you can use glandulars. But when you start moving congestion and mucus and acids out of tissues, the hyper or hyperkic state of that condition in those tissues will disappear. Because you're removing the cause. Remember, you've got to come back and re-erase, etch-a-sketch, re-erase the concepts of medical thinking. They're ridiculous. They're theories. They're no actualities or facts. Re-erase that and pull yourself back. You're like, all right, cause and effect. Cause and effect. What kind of chemistry should I be eating? What is the nature of chemistry? Understand a few things. That's all you got to do, and you'll fix yourselves right up. So, sweetheart, you need to dig in, and you need to detox. Get these sinuses out. I can tell you one thing: bowels. I can tell by your skin your bowels are a mess. So you want to clean up your GI tract. That'll help you drain the sinuses, and everything will be good. So work with that. You can work with hot and cold applications to the skin. Dry skin brush. Now this is pretty nasty looking, and since having kids, I have had some pain during intercourse. I have 3 kids now, the last being 18 months. And in the last month, the pain has gotten much worse. Yeah, I'd be careful there. We can't do any position without pain now, and sex is no longer enjoyable. Oh, that's sad. Okay, so the pain is deep inside near the uterus, and it hurts up in my lower abdomen. Oh, crap. And even high up on the mid-sides of my torso. Oh, wow, honey. Deep penetration is no-go. Also, since my last period, February 3rd, I've had sporadic bleeding. Jesus Christ, honey, I don't like anything you're saying there. You know, when you get pain like this and then you get bleeding, that means you're extremely acidic in these areas, extremely inflamed. So, I made the Heal All tea for douching. I made it for atypical cells. And this is probably where you're going if you're not already there. So, I would douche 1 time a night for 2 weeks, and then wait a couple months and do it again. At the same time, I'm going after my kidneys, I'm going after my adrenal glands, I'm going after my GI tract, I'm going to get this out of me, because this, it shows that you have a lot of inflammation in here, and that the capillaries are very thin, and they're starting to bleed on you. So that just tells me you're highly, highly inflamed in these areas here, and it's setting your nerves on edge here. That you want to be careful with, because you can damage tissue probably with that. So I would pull back, take a break. If you're going to have intercourse, use like the burn or skin salve, and use that as a lubricant, right? Now, if you're dry, if you're a woman that has vaginal dryness, use black cohosh. If you have a lot of pain like this, I would not use black cohosh right now. That promotes estrogen, and estrogen is a little acidic. I would cool things off down there. You know, douche with the Heal All tea, have intercourse with the salves, things like that. Use the female reproductive formula. Take a break from internal sex. You know what I'm saying? And give that a rest, and let that all heal. Get your kidneys filtering, and get this straightened around. Use the endocrine gland formula. Get on the some aberrated part of the 14-week program, or get on the 14-week program. and get your body cleaned up. But what's this? On your finger. I don't know what that is. It's not a growth on your finger. Is that like mucus or something? Or something from the vaginal area? But you want to protect yourself and not hurt yourself with that. So again, you want to douche and clean that up that way. I would also use the female reproductive formula. Again, go after the detox, get on a raw food diet, start cleaning and strengthening, And by the way, just go check your parathyroid, strengthen connective tissue in you, okay? Because you don't want to have problems in the future of uterus and bladder prolapsing on you. And this is kind of what I'm getting. So all I can say is strengthen. Take a look at your case, get a picture of your eyes, start thinking, do I have any connective tissue? Do I bruise easy? Do I have depression? Do I cramp up a lot? Varicose spider veins? The two words that define what we do and define what everyone should do to get well is clean and strengthen. Clean and strengthen. The question is, how do you clean and strengthen? Well, cleaning is an alkaline astringent experience, a hydrating experience, and strengthening is the same. Oh, you mean a very food that cleans us strengthens us too? Ooh. Who thought of that one? Oh, wow. What's this? Hi, guys. How are you? Maybe Dr. Morse might like to read this testimonial in a video. It might help give others some inspiration. Yeah, you know what it does, I think. I think it's important that those that are successful tell their stories. Generally, you would just go on in life and, not bother anybody and get yourself well and things, but you have so many people that are sick here. It's just sad, and they need to know that there is a path to wellness. And see others that make that path. The bold who step out and join the journey of wellness and vitality. And a lot of you have done that, incredibly so. I'm so proud of all of you guys. Infinite love to you. Who is this? N-O-A? Noah? Oh, this is Shane. Oh, we saw this, Shane. Yeah. Saw this, my dear man. Just 6 months ago, I was healing, but rarely left the house. I was still fatigued. I read this. Yeah, this is our other lady. Remember the Miss Philippines? This is the other. Is she Dubai there, Shane? Is this Dubai? But Shane did an incredible job. Well, I'll say it this. You guys are the vehicles, and I'm proud of you. I mean, what better than to help a suffering soul? Look at that. Look at the skin. What better than to help a suffering soul? To have life again, especially a young person that starts out in life like this, a female whose beauty is everything to her. Good job, Shane. Each and every one of you can do what Shane's doing an unbelievable job on so many people, but so are a lot of you guys. And I'm proud of each and every one of you because this is how it's done. And it's just, you gave this life back to this girl on so many levels. But there's even much more serious cases. I get this all through. Diagnosis of cancer, knowing that it's just a lymph stagnation, high acidosis, so many people are getting their remedy with that. It's fun, isn't it? But she sure got her remedy. So yeah. I'm going to keep this and use this picture because I got another picture of Miss Philippines and I'll show you the two. And just to give you an example, it's not just a fluke that one person gets it. Everybody's getting their remedy. Now some of you are working a little harder. Some of this stuff is deep. Some of this stuff is deep within us, you know it? And some of these weaknesses, we have long genetic lineages and you just have to keep working on it. What else are you going to do? Put up with your suffering? No. You gotta keep working on it, whatever it is. But don't work on it too much to where you lose your ability to have fun. Don't get anal about it. Kick back from it to where it's like, it's my body. My body is not going to take up 100% of my attention from now on. I know how to get it well, and I'm just going to let it get well while I'm separating and enjoying life from another level of viewing. Because what you put your attention on becomes your experience. And when you put your experience on the negative and the things that's going on, it's not fun. I've been through that. And so I decided to I could feel my blood boil. I could feel every little thing in detox. I go, oh, what's that? Oh, what's that? Because I'm alone. I don't have anybody to talk to about detoxification. I'm reading books and doing it. Not as nice as having us here to help you. And I realized, you know what? Get away from that. Get away from my body. I'm trying to anyway. So get my attention away from it. Let my body do its thing while I'm busy doing my thing. I don't want to live in my body. I just want it to be my driver. My car. Right? This was sent to YouTube, but it is quite long. Oh my God. I can't do this one, guys. Let me see here. This is very long. Oh. But. This one is a sad one. I just looked at the picture. I don't even know the story here. Okay, guys, you ready for this one? This little fella. You're going to see a lot more of this. Now, they've been following us for 6 months now, have read our books, watched your YouTube videos, started using your herbs, thank God. I absolutely love your videos and have turned some friends onto you, your work as well. The question I am submitting is on behalf of my daughter, Kristen. She is now 8 years old and has spent most of her life with severe cardiac issues. She has spent many months in hospitals in Canada and U.S., 10 heart surgeries, hundreds of x-rays, CAT scans, heart casts. Oh my God. I'm lucky. You're lucky your daughter's still alive, sweetheart. All right. Miraculously, despite all this, she's a vibrant and healthy girl. She wants to live life to the fullest. As a family, we are well aware of the path to health and spirituality. Spiritual enlightenment lies mostly in what we choose to put our bodies. Yeah, in our bodies. Absolutely right. We are blessed as a family that everyone enjoys eating plant-based. Good. When you get into situations like this, I know she's all hooked up, but boy, I'd be using the heart formula. These are herbs that regenerate heart, that loves the heart tissue. Regeneration, of course, comes under an alkaline sky. It's hard when you have someone hooked and trapped into the medical world. But when she's not there, one can start working on regeneration. And I would look at the thymus gland. I would look at the pituitary gland. These are two of the body's growth glands. I would look at the parathyroid gland. I'd be going after the glands like nobody's business. Now, you're saying genetics. How can you impart on genetics? Easy. Easy. Oh, here. Oh, I've got a better picture of her. Or is this the other one? I got it. Hang on a minute. Well, like I said, I'm just moving in here and I don't... I wonder where all my, I'm looking for my, anyway, I apologize, but the God Worlds chart. Well, you can see in the God Worlds. So when you see an individual like this is the physical body. There is another body involved in this dear child. It's called the astral body. That's the emotional body. It looks very similar to this physical body, but it's finer and more bright and brilliant, more light. Then there's another body behind that one, which is the mind. So you can in your physical life understand that, because when you use your emotions, when you're feeling and loving and everything, that's not your physical body, not your physical mind, and not your physical heart. That's a whole nother level of God that you have in you. That's the emotional worlds. And then there's worlds above the emotional worlds where there is no emotion at all in these worlds, and that is your mental, your mind worlds. These are worlds upon themselves. They're not physical worlds whatsoever. And each world is bigger, more vast, more beautiful, more etheric, more joy, more I can't even tell you. So this little one has all these bodies with them. All the plants, the fruits, the berries, the melons also have all these bodies to them. You can't be here in physical form without first having these bodies to get here. Some souls don't have physical bodies. They have astral bodies or mental bodies at these other levels, but they're not at this level, so they're not here. They're enjoying life and experiencing on these other levels. But you also have bodies on these other levels experiencing. When you're experiencing your physical world, you're experiencing the emotional world and the mental world all wrapped together simultaneously. When you see your house, it is also on the emotional world and in the mental worlds as well. The causal world is the creator world of all in creation. And so to create your house, to create your car, to create anything, it has to first exist mentally. It can't first exist physically. It has to first exist mentally. Then it has to have emotional ties to it, and then it can get a physical body. And that's everything. Everything. Nobody gets to skip around. So when you're eating food, the energy, the consciousness, the chemistry, you got two things to a food. You got its physical side, but you have the emotional side to that food. You remember how we like sweets? You have the emotional side to food. You have the mental side to food. You have all these sides that a food affects you. This is why when you're eating fruit, your mind becomes peaceful. You become more observant and less chattery. It's the irritation of proteins that makes the mind chatter so much. You start to become peaceful. Your body, the pain comes out of your body. You begin to get more flexible, more awake. Things in your body start rebuilding and repairing itself because there's a blueprint that this energy is coming off of. And we're pulling these bodies of yours up energetically to these high levels. And these levels, there's regeneration. Whether people want to believe it or not, we've demonstrated way 50 years almost I've just demonstrated. You can't, there's nothing you can say. We got x-rays. We got people around the world that's rebuilt their bodies from decrepit little bodies like this into healthy running bodies. Even the guy that parachute didn't open now has a life. So that's why it's important to work on these children in the physical. Even though you don't understand how could some fruits and some herbs help something like this? That's medical thinking because they're stuck. They don't understand consciousness. They don't understand all these levels of energy and awareness. They don't understand how the body's built. Not really. And so, you just have to understand that when you're plugging into the world of God here, and that when you're eating foods created by the Creator for the species, for those particular species. Each species has its own types of food to eat. We just have a mind that is outside of intuitiveness now. We have a mind that we're able to see what the negative side of the mind is doing in our species. You don't see that so much in primates. But in the Homo sapiens, the mind is much more developed. And watch out, it's also very much untamed and uncontrolled in a lot of cases. Man has yet to learn discipline. But that's why I love these cases, because you're going to go right in and start getting into the growth factors and the repair factors and bring the energy of the body up and start invoking all these other bodies and all these other healing properties. Because you know what? There is absolutely nothing else out there. You can give them some stem cell treatment, but a lot of hullabaloo in that field. Remember, I had a stem cell researcher I hired here that worked for us for a while. I said, what are you doing here when you're a stem cell researcher? Nothing going on. I don't like what's going on. So, brief medical history. Do you want to hear this? Surgery, stroke, seizures, radiation exposure, low oxygen saturation, and poor perfusion. Whew. Damn. But are we going to let that stop us? No. We're going to go right in if the parents are willing, but then you've got the medical people who can't do anything anyway but keep them stabilized. And that's the beauty of the medical doctors, there's no question. Their stabilization and things like this is a rule. Some of these children would probably... these souls would get other bodies. In other words, these children would probably die and that soul would get another body. But the medical doctors are keeping them alive. So if that's going to be the case, then we have to fix them. Because imagine that's you, and you're fully awake inside, but outside you haven't developed your ability to communicate because the mind and emotional components of the new side is not developed yet. But you are there. You can hear and see everything that's going on. It's always true with everybody. You hear it with people that have had out-of-body experiences, telling about, oh, what's this? Look at her. I don't want to, I tell you, look how cute. Look how cute. Okay, so we have a world of this. Damn. We're the ones that can help. Yeah, she was born with hypoplastic left heart syndrome, a severe congenital heart defect where the left side of the heart did not develop. But we can kick her up. I've had cases where they were short, the pituitary tissue not developing, and turned it around. And so I'm going to say you got to go into these tissues. They're the endocrine glands. You go into the thymus. There's your growth gland, also the pituitary growth gland, upper circumbraining nerve. Those two are miracle things. You're going to use a little bit. I would use a little bit of ground up glandulars. I would use a little bit of thymus gland, a little bit of pituitary. I'd make my own little mixture of a little bit. Because 8 years old, I'd make my own little mixture and get in there and try to enhance these glands, because at 8 she can regenerate so a lot. So I would enhance these glands. I use the heart formula to turn on the heart cells. I wouldn't get aggressive with this one. Little simple kidney, adrenals, endocrine glands, upper circ, and some brain and nerve formulas. I probably would look to the ultimate immune. Why would I pick the ultimate immune? All right, ginseng and antler. Antler is incredible growth factors. Matter of fact, I would probably get separate deer antler or elk antler for this young lady. And that's the value of antler. Doesn't hurt, especially when we raise these animals. They're not in the wild getting eaten by bears. They're being loved and just using the velvet part of their antler. No pain, no nothing. And yet we can take someone like this and help regenerate the tissue involved. So there's some of the things that I'm thinking right now what I'd be doing. A series of surgeries were done to try to fix this problem, basically, as it can't be fixed, or try to help support it. But it can regenerate. See, man can't, but her body can. And I would love to have a picture of her eyes. Wow, that would be too cool to see what that heart lesion looked like at 3 o'clock left side. During this surgery, she fought several infections, a couple into the bone. You see what I'm saying? What happens when man gets involved? This girl should have been put immediately on raw and into the endocrine glands, glandulars and stuff, and started regenerating right off. With all the big gun antibiotics, including vancomycin, holy crap. You're just so lucky this little girl's alive. That's all I got to say. Vancomycin will take your butt out. Oh my God, I cringe at that one. And another one I cringe, which is not even near as strong, is Cipro, but it has a ton of fatal events tied to it. She also had a stroke where she lost use of her left side at 3 months old. She was always weak, tired, and pale with low oxygen saturation the following years when she was a toddler. We realized there had to be more than the palliative surgeries. Yep. We learned of new surgery techniques being performed at Boston Children's Hospital. We went there on 9 occasions, and she had 3 major surgeries there. The stays and recoveries were long. The surgeries really took their toll on her body, and that's the point. You have to get the body to regenerate this. Man can't regenerate it. They can only try to sew them up and things like this. It's like, no. In the end, the surgeries were a failure, and her heart pressures backed up into the lungs. You know, guys, that sometimes if allopathic surgeons keep their ass out of your affairs, sometimes doctors you need to keep out of people's lives. You can't fix everything, and you sometimes do more harm than good. Oh, man, I keep going on here. I'll start crying. Golly, honey, this is horrible. Scar tissue, C. diff. Oh, my God. Scar tissue in her rib cage. Slowly come each time the surgeons went, oh, yeah. Oh, hell yeah. You got the scar tissue, the adhesions, you got all of this crap. But the raw diet, get her 100% fruits, berries, and melons, and the body will eat up that scar tissue in time. It's your only chance. You see what's going on? And this is exactly what's going on in people that go under surgeries. You're going under surgeries in acidic mediums. You're creating scar tissue and adhesions. Just a nightmare. Then you have to have surgeries for that. And it just goes on and on and on, and no one ever gets better. She also contracted C. diff during her treatment, I bet. All in all, this experience has brought our family closer together, do you think? Holy crap. Healing is a lifelong process, and you got to get to where you're doing it, because medical doctors don't heal. They're only trying to patch. And you see what happens sometimes when you go in and do that? All right, so here's the questions. What herbs can be taken with immunosuppressants? Why is she on immunosuppressants for? Did she have a transplant? You didn't mention she had a heart transplant. Of course, I didn't read it 100%. But suppressing this little girl's immune system is probably the worst thing you can do. So you want to work hand in hand with that. I'm going to put it in this context. I have First Amendment rights, right? But I'll put it in this context. If this was me and my child, all right, I'd first have her on fruits, berries, and melons exclusively. The herbs that I was talking about, I'd be going after her lymphatic system. Why am I stuck as a broken record on the lymphatic system? It deals with the acid side of chemistry. When you have any problems, you do not want to be living on the acid side of chemistry. They exacerbate. Nothing is regenerated. So you have to go onto that side, because going onto that side actually flips back onto the blood, starts regenerative, starts the alkaline process, starts the high energetic chemistry and magnetics, starts to fix things. And then when we specifically go into the endocrine glands involved in growth factors, and strengthening factors like the parathyroid and calcium, we can slowly build these bodies back. But what else you going to do to her surgery-wise and everything else, this poor little sweet thing? And she's just one of so many children in deep trouble like this. So I would have her on all the, I don't care about immunosuppressants. I'm going to go right in there and try to fix her. If I'm going to tiptoe through the tulips, I don't know how long your daughter can take all of that. So I wouldn't be super aggressive, but we'd be focused. We'd be focused on the endocrine glands. We'd be focused on the lymphatic system, focused on her kidneys, focused on cleaning up her bowels and keeping her bowels moving well. Her stroke is upper circuit brain and nerve is for sure. You want to fix anything that's paralyzed or not functioning, you got to get an upper circuit brain and nerve. I fixed so many triple strokes once. So all I can say is you want the upper circuit brain and nerve. Her stroke is a baby. Anything you might recommend for rebuilding her neural path? Absolutely. And what types of food rebuild neural pathways? Come on. Fruits, berries, rebuild neural pathways. Vegetables do not rebuild neural pathways. Fruits and berries do. That's why we as a species have the highest brain and nerve power. Remember that study I showed you about primates and human brains? Because we need the energy from fruits to run it at a level that keeps us happy and not keeping us from killing each other. But that's what I would do. Fruits and berries for this baby exclusively. And I'd be on upper circuit brain and nerve. I'd be going after the kidneys and going after the endocrine. Just what I'm saying. She spent several years with poor perfusion and low oxygen saturations. Anything you'd recommend? Yes, by opening up the lymph system, you're going to clean all these pathways in the lungs. And if there's any scarring or anything in there, any fibrocystic stuff, that's all going to come out of there. You know, in other words, you're going to open her up. Remove the agglomeration and the stagnation. So you're going to oxygenate better. You're going to do everything better. You're going to methylate better. You're going to do everything better. Everything better. Everything. The amount of radiation, yeah, I know. That right there is scary as hell right there. The amount of x-rays and scat scans, they obviously don't care. The amount of radiation drugs her body has seen, can you recommend a toxicity protocol for it? That is the toxicity protocol. Fruits, berries, and the herbs, just as we described, your body will pull all this stuff out. I would probably give her a lymphatic one, but I'd probably only give her a couple of drops. Can you foresee her diaphragm issue presenting problems in other areas of her health down the road? Oh, I see all of this causing problems down the road. The radiation, everything in her right now. And this radiation probably is still in her, and it's had to damage cells. You can, seven in a mammogram, 7 shots gave her cancer. 7 shots gave this lady cancer. 7 pictures. Burned her that bad. Can you foresee her? Currently, it presents no trouble as it seems healed. Yeah, just keep going. Keep going. Enhance the endocrine glands. Use the endocrine gland formula. But if you're interested, I would definitely make up a little thing for her in terms of thymus, pituitary, and parathyroid. Those would be the 3 I'd really be, not to mention the adrenals, of course, but I'd be very, very interested in those 3. Of course, I'd be interested in the heart formula, too. A strengthener of the heart, definitely. Exercise, excessive scar tissue adhesions in the abdomen, that's going to be pulled away. The only way to get rid of that, because more surgeries, more scar tissue, No, get into that high alkaline state and she'll chew those scar tissues right up. The body can do this stuff. But she's got to be there to get this high level of regeneration. Remember, cooked food is not normal to any species on the planet. Any species. Nobody cooks their food before they eat it except man. And when you give animals cooked food, they get the same problems we do? What's that? Yeah. The one bout of C. diff, I wouldn't worry about it. No, you're going to detox. All right. any gut recommendation now. You're going to detox all this out. Yeah, I wouldn't even worry about that. Would you mind taking a look at her eyes? Oh, all right.
Yes.
Hi, sweetheart.
Hi.
Could you come? I'm on the YouTube. Could you come in here a minute? Just see if you can help me a minute.
Of course.
Thanks, honey.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye. I'll see. Oh, wait a minute. Never mind. Wait a minute. All right, well, I have one eye here. I have a left eye here. Now, well, she's got here 2 eyes that she sent with this 8-year-old. I'm sure you're going to recognize the picture.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. She had sent 2 eyes to this little girl. I've got one of them. Does this mean anything to you? Oh, wait, here's the other one. How'd that get in there? I got it.
You got both of them?
I got both of them.
Okay, perfect.
All right, so let me see if I can get over here. Okay, sorry about that.
No, that's
I can
all
do it.
It's okay.
Okay. All right, so let me, thank you, sweetheart.
You're
Sorry for the
welcome.
false alarm. Let me do this for you guys. All right. I'll do my best. I'm alone here by myself, but let me see. How about me come over there and talk with you? Best I can, okay? Best I can. Okay, here's the right eye. Now, what color eye is this for the first place? Obviously blue, right? Look at all this blue, right? But what's all this brown? It's almost orange like sulfur, but I think it's brown. So I think she has a chronic lymph buildup here. Now, do you see this wall here? This thickness of this brown here? That's in the bowel wall, so that's creating malabsorption. So what we have is malabsorption. Anybody wanted a pituitary weakness? Chronic pituitary. Remember we said about growth factors? Chronic pituitary. So that's a big deal here. Parathyroid, chronic. All right, so now we're into why she's seeing connective tissue, why you're seeing things not develop. Here's a pituitary. A chronic pituitary is a chronic parathyroid gland. Tons of congestion in the throat area, a little bit of a thyroid, upper neck weakness. As we're coming around here, we've got chronic adrenals right here. Can't see the kidney down below here. Right here is a groin, a chronic groin. This looks like her hip. So now we're seeing structure problems. I don't think this is the pancreas right up in here. I think here we got a little gallbladder, maybe a little liver needs to be cleaned up here. All this white is acute levels of lymph stagnation. This is chronic levels of lymph. This could be drugs, but I think it's a chronic level of lymph. Better pictures probably would be helpful. This is her hip on the right side. So when we're looking at parathyroid and structure, we're seeing some structural weaknesses in the hip. This is near the knee, I think groin more. Skin is down, skin ring. So genetically skin weakness here, but there's the growth factor. Look at that. That's all up in the hypothalamus. Even up in the hypothalamus is chronic. So that's way up in the brain area. Growth factors. So again, pituitary. I would even use some hypothalamus factors. We have some. Left eye. Looks like we've got a knee or a leg up here, a femur. Mixed up here in the adrenal glands right here, some kidney. Now, this is rectal flexure, but this is also the uterus, and I think she's got a uterine problem here. I want to be careful with that as she grows up here. We're right up here in the thyroid and parathyroid area again. Look at that. Look at that black stuff up in the parathyroid. I'm telling you, now we're up in the pituitary here, a lot of lymph stagnation up in the head area, the hypothalamus area. This is in the back, going toward the back of the head. Not too bad. I mean, she's got some kidneys going on here. So some groin, some back, lower back, upper neck, but skin again. Now, it's funny, you've got a light right where the heart area is, but to be honest with you, I would need a better picture to look at her heart area, to be honest with you. I would need a better picture, because I can't hardly see anything in the heart area. But I see where your growth factors all are. So as I said, this is the way I would go after this case. You know, these are amazing cases. It's sad. I've been saying this, if you go back to the very first YouTube videos that I've done, I've been talking about the children and this problem facing us like a freight train coming out of hell. And it's here. And we're here to try to help it. And the problem is, our children are hooked to an extremely ignorant, allopathic narcissism that blocks, in a lot of cases, the ability of the parents to seek greater help. Because there is regeneration of tissue in our field. Whether other fields want to acknowledge it, who cares? I don't even care what allopaths think anymore. Used to, don't anymore. Because they don't have anything anymore to rest their laurels on. They don't have anything to show. We can take a case like this, I think, and regenerate it. I'm excited to see if you can do this to your baby. Now, baby's 8 years old, but my God, that's what I'd be doing to my child. And going after that, and going after regeneration of that, and letting that eat up this scar tissue, because that's the only, and I know for a fact that this level eats up scar tissue. So, these are tough cases, brother, and there's going to be a lot of them coming. There's your easier cases, but there's a lot of tough cases out there. Well, you guys are sending in some good pictures and stuff. So, now, well, this would be a good one to show. This is, let me see where we are here. Okay, please help. I suffer so much pain. Like I say, please guys, when you hear these videos and you're in pain, jump away from the acid side of chemistry. Jump away from it. And get on the base side of chemistry. Get on your fruits, your berries, your melons. Stay away from the acid fruits initially if you're in pain, of course. If you have to and it's too strong, go down to the green drinks. But start cooling yourself down. Start alkalizing yourself down. Alkalizing chemistry neutralizes acid chemistry. And what side of chemistry is pain on? Acids. Acids. Inflammation. So when you're in pain, where are you going? You're not going to sit there and eat a high-protein diet. For a naturopath to recommend a high-protein diet when someone is in pain, a little bit of karma there, boys and girls. A little bit of karma. I have been suffering from, this is why I pulled this one up. Trigeminal neuralgia. Oh, my God. All right, kind of hooked a lot of times to C2. But you're talking about a pain up here that is unbelievable. I've had several cases through the years. One case took me about 2 years. And he would keep having a little bit of back and forth, but he was bad, brother. Holy moly, he was bad. I've had other cases of trigeminal neuralgia and fixed them up pretty good, but this guy took me a long time. But the same thing. Now, I would definitely, of course, you're probably aware of the C2 already, but I would definitely have my neck always checked. I would go into the lymph system, of course, because that's what pulls things off and what deteriorates and sucks calcium out of matrix. At the same time, I'm going to be looking at my parathyroid gland, make sure I'm utilizing calcium, because calcium is a main component as an anti-inflammatory or anti-pain. Anything base chemistry is anti-inflammatory and anti-pain. So anything base chemistry, any fruit, berries, things like that. You get your high acid fruits in a pain situation, I wouldn't do it, because you're going to feel more pain, no question. But this is a bad pain. But I tell you, it's a very painful pain, aka suicide disease. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely get it. Totally get it. And it doesn't want to go away. And it's constant. It's right through here a lot of times. Severe pain. Severe pain. Horrible. Horrible, 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 horrible. That's why it's aka suicide disease. We'll scratch out the word disease. Not a friggin' disease to it. On the right side of my face for almost 2 years. This was triggered when the dermatologist removed a skin tag on the side of my nose. How interesting. She first injected me in the cheek with lidocaine and epinephrine. It did not hurt initially. See what I'm saying? That's why detoxification is the key. Because anything injectable, by then you should have absorbed this, but if you didn't, anything that's saturated or stagnant has to be removed. You remember, the blood isn't the removal fluid, it is the lymph. The blood isn't hooked to eliminative organs. The lymphatic system is. You can look at it that way then. But I'm very aware of your issue and very aware of the pain. Like I said, I've had several cases, and it's heart-wrenching, for sure. The burning and nerve pain started within 2 days. I went from healthy, vibrant, and active, age 55, to wanting to commit suicide almost. I know, it's horrible, but your only hope, you've got to detox and strengthen, clean and strengthen. Get the head detox, get your bowels cleaned up, get your sinuses to drain, pull all this acid out of here, all this inflammation. Make sure your upper C-spine is always straight and your axis is on right. Strong, fit, followed a keto, low-carb diet, lots of dairy and coffee. Well, lots of dairy is probably what got you, because it loves the head and lungs. Your whole body can get full of mucus, but your head, your sinuses and lungs, that's where that dairy proteins, To having anxiety, panic attacks, and the most horrible nerve pain in the face. Oh, very familiar. I temporarily developed headaches and pressure in the head. Oh, I bet. Like my brain was going to burst through my skull. You know, and when you this is the problem with putting chemistry in an already saturated area, because what that tells you that you were already saturated. And she didn't know that. I mean, she's not thinking. I mean, she's just removing for you. So she's not thinking. Or he. And it simply is that when you have a saturation, you're full. Your cuppeth is running over. You don't add more, because then you start initiating some inflammatory responses, and some of it, you start then having serious problems like you are here. His pain was so painful, it felt like it was going to burst through his skull. And I said, I've had this, and I've said this on many videos. Anything that deals with the head pressure, and when you diagnose with glaucomic pressure, you get your butt moving. Because when your head can get so much pressure, suicide is definitely considered by a lot of people. And I can tell you, I've told you a case of a guy up giving a lecture in a church, and this comes running up the aisle, the center aisle, up to me in the church, running out. I'm going, whoa, what's this? Trigeminal neuralgia. Horrible, with head pain, head pressure, excuse me, head pressure. And he said, if you can't fix me, I'm going to kill myself. I've been everywhere. And this is in front of a big group I'm giving a talk to. Fixed him, though, but you ought to have seen his eyes. Matter of fact, I still remember his name. And if I can remember, I'm going to get pictures of his eyes, and I'll remember, and I will show you his eyes in respect to this head pressure and trigeminal. And let me tell you, the lymph, you can see, you go, oh, the lymph system, oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like there's nothing there. Oh yeah, there's stuff there. And what is it? Acidosis. It's your metabolism. And the problem is if you're not draining, your cells keep producing waste. Uh-oh. Where are these going? Because they're not draining out. Where are they going? And pretty soon, very serious decay and atrophy of the neurons of the central nervous system. Start plaquing your amyloid plaque, but you can get into cholesterol plaquing, calcifications, just keep on going down to the body's response to acidosis, the mechanisms involved. And all of that just brings nothing but, oh my God, the suicide. You know, it's just like, but relax, there's help. Now you want to get on a fruit, berry, and melon diet, period. I wouldn't mess around about it. I'd candle my ears, 3-4 candles per ear. I would work on my neural lymphatics. I'd be hot and cold on my back and back of my head. I would be dry fasting and popping these kidneys loose as quick as I could. Going at the kidney form is adrenal form because you have anxieties now and all this other stuff. That's your adrenal glands are crashing. You want to get all this fixed. And you fix the reason you had the skin tag in the beginning. My sense of smell had already been failing the last few years and declined further to where I cannot smell much or taste my food. I know, I got it. I had my tonsils and adenoids out. See what I'm saying? You're just loaded. And she didn't know any better because they don't understand what this means. So she just loaded you up with more fluid. You know, when your cuppeth runneth over, you can't add more into a closed, sealed compartment. I'm surprised you're not leaking out your eyes and some other places. You know, this is serious stuff, and we have to realize that when you have lymph stagnation, now you have the largest fluid-based system of the human body, the lymphatic system, in a stagnation mode, meaning nothing's moving well anywhere. So what happens is swelling, and we can see it everywhere we look. Swelling, edema, wherever it is, we have a name for it. Congestive heart failure, pulmonary edema, we have different names for it. But the cause is always the same. Now, this person might have eaten steak all their lives, and this person might have eaten grains and beans and dairy products. It doesn't matter, they're all acid ash foods. And they all cause these problems. You'll get your sense of smell and taste back, though, I'll tell you that. But I have lost my sense of smell and taste myself, especially smell, and didn't even know it. We smell by memory. Most people probably smell by memory. They don't really smell anything. They're too congested. It's because you had your tonsils and adenoids out. That already told you that you were compromised here lymphatically. You were already backed up big time. So you've got to go back and fix this, or you can't get rid of this problem. And this problem is not a fun one. I was on penicillin often. You know, I love these guys. They don't understand. Just give them an antibiotic. Just give them a penicillin. That'll do it. You know why? Because it suppressed so many acute and subacute conditions that they got cocky. They didn't realize they were hurting people, so their egos got cocky. We got stuff that'll cure anything. Yeah? And now look at what's happened with antibiotics. The death rate from the use of antibiotics. The cancers from the use of antibiotics. The shutting down of lymph node bacteria from the use of antibiotics. You could make a list a mile long. Herbal antibiotics do not have the same effect as pharmaceutical antibiotics. A big difference in the consciousness of the maker. Peripheral nerves through my body are sensitive and apt to develop neuropathies with the slightest normal, yeah, my bad. No one can explain what was, but you want to make sure your spine is always fairly straight while you're going after this, not going after the, I don't know, but I'm going to say probably got a pituitary involvement as well. You want to take a look at your eyes, but I can tell you parathyroid. So you want to go after the parathyroid, maybe you have to go after the pituitary, you want to go into endocrine glands, you're going after the kidneys, you're going after the lymphatic system. You're going after what generates the pain and the pressures. This isn't blood pressures, as you know already. See, blood pressures, I take a blood pressure pill. There's no pill for lymph pressures. That's why they're the suicide problems. There's no pill. There's no one anything can do. Get a needle, start aspirating interstitially. No one could explain what was wrong with me and why. The facial nerves were on fire. Acids. Acids are fire. And they burnt you. I finally found the diagnosis on my own. Atypical trigeminal neuralgia. Yep. And a holistic doctor who understood. Well, yeah. Listen, I've had the cases. Know totally what you're talking about. He blamed it on Epstein. Blamed it on Epstein-Barr virus. Oh my God. Here I thought he was going to be a good medical doctor. And he blamed Epstein-Barr virus. Are you kidding me? Epstein-Barr is the easiest thing to get out of the body there is. Oh my God. Oh my God. Began treating me with antiviral herbal tinctures. Oh, this is a natural guy. I continue to get worse, no kidding. Yeah, the nerve pain spread. Yeah, you were definitely way out of the league for that guy. A recent MRI, without good thing you didn't use the contrast in the MRI, or this pain could have been escalated a lot more, my dear one. You do not want to use MRI contrast. Remember, we've been talking about it, and who's that karate guy? His wife, they're suing 16 pharmaceutical companies for the use of these dyes and what it did to her health. And well documented, I've known it have been toxic since I worked in hospitals. Chuck Norris. Over these 2 years, I have tried so many things and gone to so many, but you can't treat it. See, I think what's happening is everybody tries to find something to stop this, to treat it. You have reached saturation. There's only one word for you on this world: regenerative detoxification. That's the only word, because it relieves pressure, it hydrates, it opens up agglomulation. Look what it's doing, factually. And that's what you need. That's what you have to have. There's no other way. I don't all get this. Even having teeth removed, yeah, they really, they can send you through a lot of hell, and there's nothing that's going to help it anyway. Now, this is them. You were burning. See how you were burned? Keyword, burning. Keyword. All right? Now, way up on the 14 base side can burn you really bad. But most of our burns are acid burns, no question. Oh man. I felt pain in the surgery sites. I have refused all the allopathic drugs prescribed for me. Yeah, because there's nothing they can do. I can just tell you right now, there's nothing allopathic can do with any of this. My inflammation is reduced, and my terrible high body temperature that further aggravates the nerve pain seems to be cooling a bit. You have to cool your... See, hear what you're saying. Listen to what you're saying. When you cool down, when you alkalize, the heat and pressure go down. It's just when you're faced that it's the acid-sided chemistry, and of course that leads you back to your lymphatic system, and it shows you that you're already agglomerated, and just that sends you right over the top. I have been told that I have a herpetic virus like shingles eating my facial nerves. I think you diagnosed it pretty much right on. I have been telling doctors again and again that the lymph glands in my neck, below my ear, and near my chin are blocked and hard. Ouch. Ouch. See? You know what your problem is, and you knew what your problem is. You just didn't have the confidence in yourself. Now, are you getting the confidence in yourself that you know what your problem is? Right there, you just told us all. your lymph nodes in your neck are hard. Let me repeat this like I said earlier. Anything from here up, go after it like you never went after anything in your life. You do not want them messing with, and you're a great example, my dear one, of what happens when they start messing with stuff. Especially on the head area. Simple dermatologists, look what happened. They didn't know because they don't understand the lymphatic system and pressures and that sort of thing of that system and the acidosis that brings. They don't understand that. And that is huge because that's the reason everybody's suffering. And if you don't understand the reason everybody's suffering, that's a problem. And especially when you're holding yourself out there as the number one place to go when you have problems. I've tried many natural approaches with no success, including for a short time the vegan diet and supplements recommended by the medical medium Anthony William. I crashed quickly and thought I was dying. Yeah, no. No, my dear one. You can't, you're not trying to treat this. Because there's absolutely nothing. Maybe some anti-inflammatory herbs to give you some minor relief. But this is something you've got to roll up your sleeves and dig into your body and deal with. Oh yeah, this is not something you're going to find a remedy for out there. This is something you're going to work to get healed and make your own remedy. You're going to find exactly. Very aware of your problem. Very aware of it. Had several cases, like I said, and not a lot of fun. You know what? I'm going to cut this off because I'm going to do more videos this week. I don't know, it's just Wednesday already, but I don't want to get too big. And we've already got a pretty good pile here. That's pretty good. But a lot of it's just a couple of cases. But my God, there's some bad cases out there, isn't there? I know it. I don't know. This is... All right. Did we do it?
Yes.
Yes, baby. Oh, well, here. You don't want to go on there, don't go on there. I love you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in to me all these years. It's a long road, but you know what? We're doing it. We're doing it. You guys are incredible. You've helped so many people out there. You guys are getting your spiritual side back in order. I love it. You know, what more is there? To be healthy in the physical body and to be healthy in all the bodies, but also be free from those bodies. And be free to travel and know things that no one else knows. To see things no one else can see because they're too busy with their attention playing Peyton Place or General Hospital or Days of Our Lives, things like that. And you guys decided to pull back and take a look at life from a higher view. Fun stuff, fun stuff. And you want to make it fun because outside of that, you're going to cry a lot. There's a lot of hell here still. But we can change all that and help these babies and help all these people. And you guys are doing it. And I'm so proud of you in every way. Love you all. Namaste and may the blessings be, my dear ones.